Alright guys, I'm going to do a flip through of like half of this journal. Which is about there. So you will see this half and then you will see the other half in like a week or two. So actually I'm going to flip until, you know, I feel like you've seen it. This is a Studio O journal. I'm going to finish the month of January actually in this journal. That's what I'm going to do. And then show you whatever I have in February. This is just the front. I started on the 1st of January. This is the 1st of January. Talking about church. We went to Andrew's house and I got my relationship journal. This day I went to the hospital twice. This is a card from my mom, my birth mom. I'm adopted, so yeah. This is the second trip and what happened. Got really cold. And so that's what happened. It was 20-mile-per-hour winds and it was only 24 degrees, which keep in mind that doesn't feel very cold. This is my goals. It says my main goal for this year is to be happy and only bring things into my life that make me happy. Work on relationships, create and journal every day, and read my Bible, and then learn to love myself more. Now this is what I meant to keep in mind. This was 9 degrees. Because it was so low, I wrote it in big font because and my boyfriend was sick this day. Actually, I think, yeah, my boyfriend started getting sick this day. I felt bad because he went to the hospital with me the day before. Then this day, he was still sick. I was feeling 75% back to normal. It's only 16 degrees. I said it's as warm as it's been all day. It was 16 degrees and it's been 7 degrees, which is why I'm using frozen stickers. The 13th, this month was going to be our anniversary. And then we have my Elvis spread. Because I love Elvis. So I love this picture. I tried to do as many pictures of him as I could. We have more. We have some writing. I like this line. It says, we're talking about a young man who wanted more than Tupelo, which he loved, but I know where he's coming from. I love Hamlin and now Northeast, but it doesn't mean I don't have dreams that would, if they happen, take me out of the places I call home, which is a bit out of my comfort zone. Okay, a lot out of my comfort zone. But it would be open. I would be open to it. And then this is a bucket list. I talk about that. Our similarities, there's not much, but and then we have this big picture of Elvis, a Christian sticker, and we have Princess Diana, and we have a bunch of stuff. We're not gonna get into this bottom part, because, if you know the Princess Diana story, there's a, well, you can read this, there is a, the royal family may have killed her. These are just personal opinions. So we will skip over that. This is my Princess Diana thing. This is her boys. Then we went over to our friend Andrew's. I drew this at his house, so that's why it's in here. Then I went to the hospital to visit my grandmother. Then I got released to go back to work. But stuff happened after this where you will see this. And then we went to watch The Greatest Showman, which is in there. Then my cousin got sick, but this is personal family matters, so I'm just gonna show you an overview of it, and then flip. Then this I'm gonna not show you this little tip in. This is before I lost my job. But it was my little cousin's birthday, and I wrote all about it. Then my favorite show is Cake Boss, and I clipped this out of a magazine, and wrote about it. Over here, I started this thing where I write my O's as hearts. This I can explain. This is Amelia Earhart. I've always had an obsession with her. This is Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter. I've always found her so pretty, and she's just so cool, so. And then the word strength, and then my favorite character on the show, Shameless, is, which I will mention later for reasons, but is Noel, which he's not on the show right now, so. And his wife got married in July, and I finally found a way to use, I didn't want to save the whole magazine, but I wanted to save stuff that brought my joy. So, we have this whole thing, and their names, and then we have Elizabeth Smart, which, this is like from the movie, the Lifetime movie, which I watched and was very either creeped out by or inspired by. If you don't know her story, look it up. She was basically stolen out of her bed in the middle of the night by a creepy dude, and she survived. So I put this in there because she's one of my inspirations. And then Diana. This is when I first started going to church with my boyfriend, which you will hear more about. This is a talk. That's what's pinned in here. With this little thing. I just have notes about this. Then we went to devotional at Brother Slaw's house, and these are just some notes from the talk. And on teeny tiny paper. Yeah, you can see what happened. And then this is the gym me and my boyfriend attend. So you will see a little bit about that, not much. I try not to, and this is Tony, so I'm not going to show you his face. This is what happened afterwards. I got my religion journal this day. Then this day is the day I decided to become Mormon. I had my first meeting with the sisters, and I set a baptism date, and then we went to Andrew's house. I read studied the Book of Mormon, and then it was my grandmother's birthday in heaven, so I did this page. This is my letter to her, which I just read. It says, Granny, happy birthday, Granny. I love you and miss you so deeply and wish you were here, but I know you're in a better place and not in any more pain. You taught me so much, and like Uncle John gave me a love of birds and flowers. You always told me every time you saw me that I was beautiful and that you loved me, and you will never know how much that meant to me and still does. I hope you're proud of me, because you're one of the people I long to make proud. I'm trying to do my best. For once, I'm happy and I'm in a good place. Good boyfriend. I love myself in a goodish mental state. I love you so much. Love always, Emily. This one I'm going to skip for personal reasons. Then we went to NLX again. We hung out with our friend Andrew that day. So that's what this all is. This is the Chinese restaurant we went to. This is when life got hard. I don't have very much more to show you because the rest of the days fall after. Rest of the good stuff falls after. But, you see what happened. My boyfriend's truck broke down. I had a lesson with the sisters. This is from the lesson books that they give us. My grandmother's not doing well, so this is just a thing, and then a good thing that happened. And then we have this stuff. If you follow the Larry and the Star case and what happened, you'll know why this is on there. And Me Too, and then a bunch of, empowering things. You Are My Sunshine, because I call my little cousins that have helped me through my depression my sunshines. Another Amelia Earhart clip. This just got real, and so did I. John and Nikki, Disney, Wizard of Oz, which holds a personal meaning. One of a Kind. This little thing that makes me laugh. It says, library. It's like a do-it-yourself Google. Reba says, Jesus heals every hurt. Alice in Wonderland. This reminds me of a cabin that my family has. This is just cute. And my favorite princess when I was little was Ariel. Now to the shameless stuff. I, as a Mormon, cannot... They don't promote homosexuality, which I'm not personally against, but, I can't ignore the other things in Shameless that they don't like, which is the alcohol use, the drug use, and other things. So I just stuck this in here because this is a part of my life that I love and adore, but I might have to leave behind. So I wanted to have this in there so I could kind of put this to rest. It's just a quote. It goes this way and then this way. It says, do you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? Then I have this one by President Uchtdorf. It says, I know of no signs on the doors of our meeting houses. It says your testimony must be this tall to enter. I drew this and hand lettered it. You got a couple more pages. Then I picked up the gifts for everybody. Picked up food. We met Sister Hanson, Sister Russell, Elder Dancy, and Elders Dancy and Hanson. These two have now moved. And I said I gave the sisters their gifts and their cards I had made for them. They love this stuff, and I will be sad when they leave our ward because I feel like not only a kinship but a sisterhood as well with them. Then they blessed my mom. And then he played with my cousin. And it was my cousin Christopher's birthday. So I wrote him a little thing. Now you're close to the end. Last couple pages up. I had my another lesson with the girls. They complimented me, which meant a lot to me. Then we cuddled. Then we went to our friend Andrew's and told them that his parents the details of my baptism. Then the next day, which was like this past weekend, we went to church. No, wait, this is the weekend before last. I cut this out. This is a cheeseburger. And if you've ever heard cheeseburger, we got onion rings and and shakes, and then we went to see the sisters. Then we went back to finish our food. We went to sacrament meeting and then left because Babe's tooth was hurting. We cuddled for a bit. I designed 2 characters on this game named Annabelle Lee and Edgar Poe, which are basically a shout out to my love of Edgar Allan Poe. Then I set a 11:30 baptism interview, which went really well. And then my sisters were meeting for me for lunch on my birthday. We'll see more of that in the next flip. And I was excited to spend it with them because I got to spend it with my boyfriend and 2 of my best friends, the sisters. And then the last two things I can show you before I get to everything else. I had a little cousin. My Aunt Nancy and her husband introduced a little man to me as Isaiah Daniel. He was 7 pounds, 10 ounces. He looks like his mama to me. He joins his brothers James, his sister Rebecca, Mary, Amanda, and Davy. Davy's a boy. I said, "Welcome to the world, little man. I love you." This is like, we went to FHE. Gave Mama Todd the angel. Because the whole she's like an angel to me. The whole family is made it sound. Their house is a version of my bliss. And then this is a thing that I made out of some of the stickers I have. You see the letters DAATHC is the initials of the family, and it just says circle of friends because I felt like that was appropriate. And then this last thing. Actually, I'm not going to show you, well, you can see this. I'm going to explain this and then we'll be done. Smurfette, because we used to call my niece that. This is a quote, some flowers, which I love. I love this whole picture, and it took a lot to cut out one picture. This is for my friend Kenny. I should have saved this for this page. I'm annoying. Disney, Amelia Earhart again. My grandmother, book lover. Music, Ed Sheeran, because he's like a king. The Gilmore Girls, which I love and still love. Sarah Hyland, there's a song called V is for Valhalla or something like that, and I love that movie, and I also love her in Modern Family, so that's what that's for. And then the last thing is I have Khloe Kardashian because I like her. So I will be back with the rest of the trip in a couple, like a week. And I will see you later.